When I sometimes mention to people that a sense of lightheartedness and levity in the workplace can be a highly effective communication skill. And when I say that, they sometimes look at me funny and they go, Dave, that's not going to work in my workplace. It is conflict ridden and we got very, very serious work going on. That just doesn't apply to my workplace at all. But you know, I think President Dwight D. Eisenhower, or Ike as he was affectionately known, he said it best. He said, a sense of humor is a part of the art of leadership, of getting along with people, of getting things done. And that is such a true statement. And I've got a very good personal story to share with you to illuminate that point. Now imagine me, I'm going down to South America, down to Chile, many, many years ago, and I'm going down there to do a safety audit. And it's going to be potentially high conflict and my anxiety level is off the scale. To make things worse, I don't even speak the local language, Spanish. I get down there and that first night I meet up with the factory manager and his staff. They take me out for dinner and we've all been to those dinners where it's all polite conversation, but you could basically cut the tension with a knife. But as the main course is being served, the factory manager, Carlos, he looked at me and said, "So Dave, would you like to try our local drink?" And I said, "Carlos, I'm an Irishman. I would love to try your local drink." So Carlos, he calls the waiter over. The waiter takes out a glass. He squeezes fresh lemons into it, puts a lot of sugar in there, and then tops it up with copious amounts of crystal clear alcohol. Stirs it. It's like the best lemonade I had ever tasted. When I go to have a second drink, I decided that I needed a straw because it's kind of strong. I want to slow down a little bit. So I looked at the waiter and I said, "Excuse me, could I have a straw, please?" And Carlos, the factory manager, he shook his head and he laughed at me. He says, "Dave, you really have to learn to speak Spanish. I think you've just ordered drugs." Everybody at the table burst into laughter and I felt the tension notch down. Fast forward to the next morning and I'm getting ready to do my opening presentation. And before I start, Carlos, with a little smile on his face, he looks at me and said, "So Dave, what did you think of our local drink?" And I said, "Carlos, oh, by the end of the night, I'm not sure, but I think I was speaking fluent Spanish. And when I got back to my hotel, there was a dog barking in the distance. I could also understand what he was saying." Everybody in the room burst out laughing and I could feel every single piece of tension go out the door. Towards the end of my trip, I knew I was being successful when a really funny thing happened. I was scheduled to meet up with a young safety manager called Monica, and it was basically my second last day when I had to sit down with her in the evening and go through a laundry list of findings from my audit. And Monica, she was a pretty engineer, about 25 years old. She also happened to be 3 months pregnant. I went through my laundry list of findings and suddenly she stood up. She held her stomach and went, "Oh, oh my baby. Oh my baby, oh." And I said, "Oh my gosh, what seems to be the matter, Monica?" And with that little impish smile on her face, she looked at me and she said, "My baby would really like it if you could group those findings together so I don't look so bad." And I laughed with her and I said, "Monica, you know, the important thing is that all these findings get tracked to completion. It makes absolutely no difference to me whether they're a laundry list or whether I group them. It's not a problem." Reflecting back on this trip, I have some really fond memories. And what did I learn from it? I learned that lightheartedness or levity, it's a great way of building rapport, dropping down tension and connecting with people. And the other thing that I really appreciated, I appreciated the fact that Monica felt comfortable negotiating with me with her sense of humor. This is a great thing to apply as a communication strategy. I will see you next time.